when that happened, my Uncle Max, I must have been about maybe 7 or 8. And my Uncle Max said, you must never, ever tell anybody about this because otherwise we all die. Well, he meant in Germany, but I've never even told my mother.
Huh.
But I was very fond, as I told you, of my uncle, my 2 uncles, and
Right.
Uncle Max especially, because anything I wanted, he would provide for me. And we came back from, I think he took me for a walk, or we were looking for a bicycle for me, and he wanted me to pick one out. And we came back from the bicycle store, and behind our house in Bielefeld was an alley, like alleys here, and that was a shortcut. So we went that way, and I was a little bit in front of him, and I see this man in a SR uniform lying on the ground, and he was obviously drunk. He was, talking to himself and spitting up, and I showed Max. I said, "There's a guy there," and Max said, "Yes, a Nazi." I said, "Yes." I said, "What should we do?" He said, "Nothing. We'll go walk right by him and go to our house." And as we went by him, he said, "Hey, Jew, what are you doing here?" And it was somebody who had worked in the building in back of us, which I told you was sort of I don't know, there different organizations used to rent rooms in there, and I don't know what you would call that.
Uh-huh.
They called it Gemeindehaus in German, which means Gemeinde is a church organization.
Right.
So they would meet there.
Right.
And I had seen him. He was one of the guys that sweeps there. He was in a Nazi uniform. And he says, "Hey, who is that little girl there?" And Mike sort of pushed me aside. And he said, "You going to school her too?" And Mike said, "You be quiet." And he said to me, "Go into the house and get the wake. Bring it to me right now." And I did. I was so scared. I ran in the house. And my mother wasn't home. I guess that's the maid was. And I got the wake. And he was throwing up, the guy, and talking terrible to Mike about Jewish pig and you all are going to die. And he said, "Give me the wake." And he said, "I want you to turn around and don't look." And he beat him to death. He was drunk anyway. And he said to me, "He's dead." So he said, "We'll to go drag him," because it was in the back of our house. So we dragged him down about a block, and there was a railroad crossing there, and we left him there. And never hurt him. And Mike said, "If you ever tell anyone, you're going to die." And I've never even told Randy. So I didn't know whether I should tell you that, because it was probably the most scary thing that happened in my life.